Hey, you guys. Okay, let me just double check. I had some super strange things going on earlier, so I'm just gonna see if I did actually go live. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, it looks like we are. Thank goodness, because I was not quite sure what happened there earlier, but I was trying to schedule it right so that um you would all know I was here, and it was just not letting me do that. So sorry for no advance notice, but here we are. So I think it was last week I posted, I'm going to show you. Sorry. Of course, I have a frog in my throat as soon as I start the camera. The photo of this. And so this is Tammy Wilson, I'm pretty sure. Now I want to double check because now it's making me paranoid. But I'm pretty sure. Yes, it was an artisan project. Hey, Kathy, an artisan project from June. And I'm not really sure how I missed it because the watermelons are super stinking cute. And so she created cards with it. You can see the post. It's on Stampin' Up's Facebook page. I'm assuming it's on their Instagram page too. I actually didn't check that before I said that. But I thought she created cards, but I thought, I bet these would make a really cute scrapbooking embellishment. So that's what we're going to do today. So I have grabbed some stuff, and I did obviously play with it a little bit before because obviously I want to get the size right and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you what I used, and I decided to pull a sketch from my blog. Because why not make it easier on yourself, right? So we're going to put together a layout that uses the sketch. So if you want the sketch, I do think that the link to the sketch should have posted in the description of the video. But if not, don't worry. If you comment sketch, I will add the link in after. And I might actually even, obviously, potentially, do a blog post with updated photos and link all of those things together. But if you don't see the link, if you just click sketch, if you just comment sketch, I'll come back and add in the link to the free sketch. So I'm going to show it to you. Who remembers this one? So it was from 2025, and I don't see the month because I can't remember. I thought it was in the summer. I actually had to dig on my blog to find it, but I thought, oh, that's kind of a fun one. We'll use it today. So, okay, just let me share this one more place and then we can get started. And if you comment, sometimes I don't see. It just depends on how all those little internet gremlins are feeling for the day. But Kathy joined us. I can see there's a few more people on with us. But so make sure to say hello when you pop on. Okay, I'm going to show you what I have on my desk. Some of it's we're going to reveal it slowly. But let's add my desk in here. And I do have a new webcam. So we're going to hope that I'm not getting any crazy autofocusing happening anymore. Okay, so like I said, this is the sketch that I decided to pull. So we're going to create a one-page layout. So there's a 5x7, a 4x3, a 3x3, and then a little journaling spot. And we're not going to put my cute dog on here, but we're going to put the watermelon. Okay. So like I said, I did some playing around because I needed a few different sizes for spots. And we're going to create these two together. But I'm literally going to show you start to finish how I created them. But I thought they turned out really sweet. And you all do know that I love to just watercolor with ink, right? Because then you also know it totally coordinates with everything that you're doing. So this is where we're going. I did post a little sneak peek earlier. So I pre-did my little title. I've cut out some papers. I'll tell you where I got all this stuff from. But we're going to go through the process of creating. Oh, look, and I even have, anyway, the parts and pieces. Okay, so I do have watercolor paper. I have some Mossy Meadow that I created already. So we're going to do some strawberry slush. So these are the two colors she used for her watermelons. So I thought, well, let's just start off easy. You could also use Old Olive if you wanted them a little bit lighter. Okay, so we have the green done and dry. So I'm just going to show you, I did exactly the same thing to create both color combinations, but we're going to make a little bit of the strawberry slush right now. And then I'll show you where I also decided to get the little seeds from. I wanted little tiny seeds. So I think that she picked, I think it's Nature Symphonies dyes. I just need to move this out of my way here. So I'm just going to put it on here. I'm going to put it behind me. But I decided to go a different route to get my little seeds because I wanted them tiny. Okay. And so I have some pieces that are dry and cut already, but I'm going to show you, like I said, exactly what I did. Let me get some stuff. So obviously we're going to use the Everyday Arches dies to cut our watermelon out. And then for the seeds, this is what I actually used. So I grabbed the Lovely Arrangements die and I cut this one out of just a piece of basic black. And that's what gave me my little tiny seeds. So I have a bunch of them here so you could see them all there. And like it created more than enough for all of the little embellishments I'm going to create. So I did grab also the Under the Sun Mix and Match ephemera pack so that we have a few little extra embellishments. I grabbed the Summer Happiness dies because I like this flower right here. Because you also get to cut out two at a time. So I cut out, you can see my little pile here. I cut out some with white, Daffodil Delight, and Bubble Bath. So that's that. What else do I have in my little pile here? My title is from the Party Alphabet, which you guys know, staple. Love it. I love that it's a great size for titles, etc. And then we're going to use this foliage right here, which is from Fragrant Layers Dies. And that's from what I used to cut out some little branches so we can tuck them in. Okay. You could also, if you want, use the this flower, but I liked this flower, which is the newer die cut, the Summer Happiness. It coordinates with the washi tape, and you could also use the washi tape in those spots where I'm going to add extra ephemera, but like where I'm going to do the mix and match, you could just use the washi tape. So the washi tape has all these fun summer icons, right? It's even got a flower if you wanted to. And you could mix and match your watermelon with the cherries, right? You can let the washi do all the work for you if you prefer. Okay, so here we go. I'll show you, right? We're going to make some strawberry slush. It almost does have like that perfect watermelon color on it. So I am going to just add, oh, sorry, that was probably pretty loud. a little bit of ink onto my glass mat. And I don't need a ton because obviously I have lots of dry pieces all over the place here. I'm just going to spray it with a bit of water. That was maybe too much, but that's okay. I have my little piece of watercolor paper, and I'm going to actually add some water on here to start. You can like dip it, you can paint it, all of those fun things, right? So I could even do one layer like that. I can add some more, right? And then if I wanted to add some darker, I can pick up, actually this might not have very much pigment left in it, but so that I get some darker colors. And then I always do, I'm going to just grab some re-inker. I do prefer, because for some reason I actually have tons and tons of strawberry slush re-inker. I actually have 2 bottles. So let's add some darker color in there before then we splatter it and take away some of the color. So you can build up your colors. Right, because a watermelon too, like the flesh of the watermelon is not all the same color. Oh, I think I was starting to say, I do prefer to let mine dry naturally than taking the heat tool to it. But it's totally up to you. So then I'm just going to actually zap this. Not going to zap it because I need to splatter it still. So I have just water in my water brush, and I can just now splatter, and I'll pick up some of my ink until I get it to a point that I'm happy with. I could play with this for like forever. You could also add some shimmer brush in at this point. Splat it with shimmer brush would be really pretty. I did not. But now you can see, and you can move the water around if you want some more like empty spaces, right? And so I will set this aside to dry. So you can, like I said, take your heat tool to it, but it does, it affects the look that you get. And I just prefer it to dry naturally. Okay. So for the right size embellishments for the layout, I'll show you the sizes that I picked. So I played around with it, and I actually first I gravitated to the very largest size, and it was actually too big for the spaces that I wanted to put it in. But you totally could use the biggest size. I'll show you. Okay. So you can see I cut it up. So this is the biggest green, and I'm going to just add it onto my page and show you, because you could do, I think it would be a better size for like a 2-page layout, right? Not a single page layout. Okay, so I did exactly the same thing, right, with the Mossy Meadow. We will cut some up, but let me just show you. Well, you know what? Why don't I cut this the largest size, and then you'll see. So you just need 2 right side by side, one to fit inside the other. So if you go with the largest, right, so I'm just going to put it in my die. Oh, my machine's not even open. Okay, so that is how big the largest one is. And let's just pull back in my pieces here. My plates are very noisy today for some reason. Hopefully this is relatively dry. Okay. So like I said, this is where we're going to start. So my thought process was kind of to do it here. So you can see like the scale is too big for this part of this sketch. But like I said, I think if you were doing a 2-page spread that had like a longer title, that could be the perfect size for you. Versus I decided to go with this size and then down. So I'll show you. I'm pretty sure these are, nope. Okay. My little teeny tiny one down here is the smallest too. And then, so 1, 2, 3, 4, this one maybe. That's so funny. There we go. Okay, so my outside ring is the 4th one in. I think that's actually the same for both of these. Okay, so the 4th one in, and then the 5th one is the green. And then these are the 2 tiniest. And then, like I said, we have one more here. And one more here. And these are smaller. And they are these 2. Yeah. So I'm going to do one of these over here, and I don't think I need the second one, but we've got it here. So those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 and 7 and 8 and 9. So the 2 smallest and then the next size up are these 2. And then the next 2 are my top ones. Right? So it's all of them are the 3 inner sets. But like I said, you could totally make them whatever size works for your layout. And I totally think I'm going to leave this, and maybe I will put that together as a larger one. I might need larger seeds for that one, I'm thinking. So here we go. Let's create our watermelon, and then I'll do some stuff to my background. So like I said, I just randomly pick sizes. They just needed to fit inside each other, right? And one needs to be long enough. So I'm going to glue these both together. And you can see here even this is the larger shape that I decided to cut up. So it's got like a wonky edge, but we're going to trim it off, right? So let me get some glue. Oh my goodness. The hydraulic on my chair is gone. So if I sit down too quickly, it goes shooting down because I work at like a stand-up desk. Okay, I need to move the water out of my way so we don't have an accident. Okay. So like I said, the 6 smallest sizes are the ones that I used. And so we'll create these 2. These were like the middle size, right? So we're going to take some glue. Shake it up. We'll see how dry it is. It's been very, very hot. So hopefully I can actually get some glue out. You could obviously too, you could see like this is paper, and you could use that if you didn't want to do the watercoloring, but I thought it just is a really pretty combination. Okay, so we're going to glue these together. We're going to give them a second to set up, right? Because I have to obviously trim them. And it is, right, the watercolor paper is heavy, so you want to make sure that you're actually like getting some glue on there. Okay. So I'm just going to hold these for a second. Oops. I got it. Okay. I'm going to show you the little seeds. Like I said, I like the fact that like I could run that die through, and it was from Lovely Arrangements, and get like a lot of seeds, right? So I have all these little seeds just here. We're going to trim our, we better put the lid on my glue or I'm going to have no glue. We're going to trim the watermelon. Okay, so I have just a little trimmer because we've got to whack through. And so depending, right, you can make it larger or smaller, or even though they're cut with the same size, right, I could make one smaller and one bigger. Cute, right? So this I'm just going to throw away. And then, well, look, I'll make this one a little bit bigger. But it's also like a super good use of like lots of little scrap, like lots of times, right? You have little scraps of watercolor paper and you could just color paint them, right? And do fun little things. Okay, so I'm going to adhere some seeds on here. And before I forget, so the background piece is a piece of Country Woods. It's the dark wood, that piece. And on the back side of it is this piece. This is my favorite piece of paper from that pack. Then I have a piece of white willow. And then the decorative papers are from the Mixed Up Patterns DSP. So it's 166992. So that's this piece, and the Secret C piece, and the letters. So I cut out a few layers, right, just out of white, scrap white that's lying around. And then the Strawberry Slush is one of the patterns. It's this one, right? And then on the back is the Secret C. Then I use this pretty little border. If you wanted to, for your background, you could totally use this wood grain. I just wanted the darker wood grain. And like I said, the sketch is on my blog, and the link is in the description. And I wonder if I can actually add it while I'm live. Let's just try. Might as well. Let's see here. There's lots of, in my shop, there are some other sketches too, but let me just grab it. And of course, it is not coming up for me. Let's do something different. There we go. I think this should work now. There we go. That should come up now. So it is in the comments. I just added it to both the Facebook feed and the YouTube feed, I believe. Okay, now back to regular scheduled programming. Okay, so for the little dots, like I said, they're from this piece right here. If you wanted bigger seeds, there's lots of like little leaves that you could cut up and all of that, but I just wanted something small. So we are just going to, and I literally just did I did them randomly because that's how I feel watermelon seeds are in nature. So then I just added them to my glue dots. If you guys have any questions along the way, please feel free to ask. I'm happy to try and answer. So like what I was saying too about like the scraps of watercolor paper, like quite often I'll cut a piece down for a card and then have like little random offcuts. So this is kind of like a really good way to use them up. Oh shoot. My glue is drying so fast because it's hot summer here now, you know. So let's just try. Maybe this will be faster. So like I said, you could add as few or as many as, as you would like. I also was thinking it would be fun to add some fine tip glue on and make them shiny, but I can't do that and assemble the layout because it won't dry in time. But maybe I could do that with another one. Okay, so this is my one for down over here. So I'm going to just leave this one and we'll get to assembling. So like I said, all the measurements are on the sketch. So let's for sure start by, I need some lines on my journaling box and then we can adhere them together. So a ruler and my pen. I'm just going to quickly tack it down. Okay. And I can just use, because I have it square on my glass mat, I can just use the lines on my glass mat as my ruler. I'll take photos and everything too of the finished layout. And maybe I could do a little bit of an updated supply list for the watermelon version if you guys want. Because the one with the sketch is, like I said, it's got like the Pet Love bundle. Oh, I love that one. That's one that's never going to leave my stash, obviously. Okay, I think I'm not going to do lines down there because we're going to add embellishments anyway. So if I twist this off, I'll just get rid of my extra adhesive there. Okay, and I actually think I want to do a little ink blending because I can. But let's put the pin in my glue, move the glue out of my way, scissors out of my way. Okay, so I'm going to put these here so you can see the sizes. So like I said, I used the 3 smallest combination for creating the watermelon. So these 2 are, I'm going to add them on here in order. Okay, so they're the 6 inner ones. That's a good visual. Okay, so let's adhere some pieces together here. There's our journaling block. So there's 3 photos. I do have a 4x6 photo on 5x7 photo. You could make it smaller if you wanted in that space and just do a 4x6. Okay, and then we have a 4x3, which is a super easy crop off of a 4x6, or you can put 2 4x3s on a 4x6, the same to print, right, side by side. So if you made this smaller, like a 4x6 here, you could add your journaling underneath and then have 3 photos here, not just 2 photos and the journaling box, right? It just kind of depends. There's lots of ways to alter the sketch depending on what you want to do. And actually, I love the letters that are on that layout. I wanted them to look like they were like dipped in gold, and I think it totally worked. Okay, so I'm going to just put like a tiny dovetail in this piece. And I can just fold it in half, and then that's exactly my center. And I just want a really shallow dovetail, so I'm not cutting in too far, but I'm cutting up to the middle and then in from each side. That's just a super easy visual for me. There we go. Okay, so these two pieces I'm going to add together. I'm going to grab a blend-in brush. I just want to make sure that I'm getting it centered. So I'm using the ruler on my grid mat. There we go. So let's grab a blending brush. And so I think I'm going to do bubble bath because I did my mats in bubble bath. So I'm just going to add some ink blending around the outside. So it's just not quite so white. And I ended up going with the title Fun. And actually, I was going to use this alpha and do Fun Times, but I decided not to because I didn't think that it was going to, so the mini alphabet dies, because it didn't fit with the photos that I was going to add, but that it would be a fun like 2-layered title if you wanted to add it. Okay, so I have a little bit of bubble bath around the outer edge, and let's add some splatter because we can. So I'm just going to add it around the outer edge because that's the only place you'll see it. So I'm just going to make sure to shake your shimmer brush to get the shimmer going. And then I'm just pushing where it says push to get it flowing. And I can see it's flowing. I always just put it on a block, like have a block, so that I can actually pick it back up if I want. I'm just kind of trying to stick to the outer edge. This will dry pretty quickly. And actually, yeah, it is barely blushed. I'm like, wait a second, did I grab crisp cantaloupe? But no, I did not. And you can see I'm picking back up, right, the shimmer that I have on my block. There we go. So now we just have that nice little detail around the edge. I'm just going to wipe off. Because I'll end up with it like all the way up both my arms, right? I'll move my block out of the way. I have lots of paper towel here from my watercoloring. I should actually have like my chamois for my gloss mat, but I always forget to pull it out before I start. Okay, so here is our background, and I'm going to have my wood grain running this way. I don't know, it's just like that's the way I've got to do it. So we'll add these two together. See, like already the white looks less like white, but you still have like that white space, but you've got a little bit of something extra there. Okay, I am going to lay my photo down over here. I'm going to add my border piece. I love the that they have the mixed up patterns, mix and match papers. There we go. I'm going to tack, right? So all following my sketch, right? This is going to go over to here. So I'm just going to line up the edge of my dovetail right with the edge there. Okay. Then you can see here, this photo is going to go right here. Actually, I'm going to move it over just a little bit. So I'm going to tack down my photos first. You could also rearrange these. So, right, I have like photo journaling box, but you could put the journaling box in the middle if you wanted. Why don't we do that? We're just going to get wild and crazy here. We'll do the journaling box in the middle. Okay, so I have my 4x3 photo, my journaling box, and then my 3x3 photo. Now I'm just going to tuck this so it's sitting just right on the edge. There we go. Okay, I'm going to tack down my 5x7 photo. Okay, so now I have my two larger watermelons are going to go up here. And I could still overhang this. I'm just not going to add adhesive so I can tuck my photo in later. So I know I want one like right here. And this one, I'm not going to push all the way down. But I think that's how I want it. There's my letters. Like I want it kind of behind my F there. Just like that. Okay. So also have this little, this is from the ephemera, right? So I'm going to add this at the bottom. And there's adhesive when you peel this off, but I want to be able to tuck my photo underneath. So I'm just adding adhesive. Okay, so this is my medium-sized one, and then this is my teeny one. Okay, so I also have the sun. I'm going to put there, but we need to tack my letters down before I get like too far ahead of myself. I just ran out of adhesive, of course. Hold, please. Okay, I can move these out of the way. Because I also have these fun things. Okay, so like I said, these are just more of the Mossy Meadow watercolor paper. And then I have flowers in Daffodil Delight. We're going to add a center to them, don't worry. And I have some bubble bath ones. I actually think I wanted to put that there. Okay, but let's finish. Put here in our title. I just get all excited and then, you know. Okay, I need to tack. Oh, I did tack down my watermelon. Okay. I'm going to pop this up on a dimensional. And, okay. So when I cut out these, right, they're the happiness ones, the summer happiness. You also get the centers, right? So it's a die. Here, I'll show you. So I liked it because you get two flowers, right, at the same time and your center. So I kept all of them, right? And then I can mix and match them. So all my flowers get a center, which I love. And I get to cut two sets of flowers with each pass, right? So, okay, my camera, I can just add that flat. So let's go like that. Then I can adhere my watermelon. And my flower. Okay, and I can tuck my little branch with a glue dot. And for this one, I'm going to use mini dimensional to add the center to my flower. There we go. Okay, so let's finish. Okay, this is just up in the air right at the moment, but then I think those are paper pumpkin dimensionals. So here we go. Here's normal minis. And I can add a white. So my thought was just kind of to mix and match them. There we go. This one I'll put over here. We'll do a bubble bath one up here. And I'm going to tuck a dimensional underneath the other side of my flower. Okay, so we're almost there. But I think we need an embellishment. So what do you guys think we should use as an embellishment? Let's glue dot down. My flower. And there we go. Oh, I know. We'll use the, as long as I can find them quickly. There's so many that would go, but should we do, oh, maybe we should do sequins, right? Because they're sparkly and it's summertime. So these are the Sunset Sparkle sequins. Okay, so this is all glued down. This is my last little section, and then we'll add our embellishments. So let's we got the watermelon and the leaves. I'll just do them with the glue dot. Oh, I can actually make it coming out this side so that they're not all the same. There we go. Then I'll add my, you could also add a little bit of ink onto these flowers. That would be really pretty. So I have to say, I think it's turning out cute. Okay, so everything is just, sometimes I gotta double check. Everything's stuck down. There's our upper embellishments. There's over the journaling box. I feel like this I need to fix. And then down the bottom. It's just, this is one of those dimensionals from Paper Pumpkin. And it was just not lined properly. So we're going to do this instead. There we go. Much better. Okay, so let's add some sequins and we are done. I'm just going to move this out of the way so we don't dump it. Paper, okay. My adhesives, move out of the way. So our sequins are the last step here. And we're going to go with the clear, I think. So these just came back into stock if you missed them the first time. There and there and some over here. I like that they just kind of are a little bit of sparkle with not taking over the layout. So if you guys want, make sure to grab the sketch off the link. If you can't find it, just comment sketch and I will get it. I'll add the link right after the video. And if you guys are interested, I will take some photos and with the new supply list here, because I didn't do it before because I wasn't exactly sure like what embellishment and stuff we would use, but I can add all that information. There we go. So there are our cute watermelons all added. So that's what I've got for you guys today. I hope you've enjoyed it. And hope everybody's having a good summer and you're taking some photos that you could add to this layout. Because easily with a title like fun, it could be basically anything, right? So like I said, if I originally had thought about doing fun times, so you could totally do that. If you wanted, you could do fun and then times over here, or you could actually add it right here too. That's another option. So I hope you guys all have an awesome day and we'll talk to you later. If you have any questions, feel free to ask and I'll come back and address them. Talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.